Okay, let's take a look at these parts over here. First, we need to understand what are the lines for. The one in red refers to the blood pressure exerted by the atrium. The atrium is quite small, so that's why it doesn't exert that much pressure. The pressure exerted is actually quite low. The one in blue is the one exerted by the ventricle. So as you can see here, the ventricle is quite strong. It actually exerts quite a huge pressure that rise quite high. And lastly, the one in green is the pressure of the aorta. Okay, you might be wondering why aorta? We are looking at the left side of the heart. We are looking at the left side of the heart. So if you are looking at the left side of the heart, then we are looking at left atrium. So the one in red is actually your left atrium pressure. Left atrium pressure. Right. The one in blue is the pressure of your left ventricle. The one in green is, oops, I accidentally changed the color. Wait, I need to change it to blue first. So this is left ventricle. This is the aorta. So remember, in between the atrium, in between left atrium and left ventricle, what is the valve in between them?
Sorry, give me a moment.
Hmm.
The tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve.
Bicuspid valve is found on the left side or the right side?
It is the bicuspid valve because the tricuspid
is the left side, so it's the bicuspid valve. This is found in between the left atrium and left ventricle. And then we'll be looking at aortic valve as well, because that is the valve that are found in the aorta. Okay, so these are the two valves that we'll be looking at because we are looking at the left side. Is it clear?
Yes.
So how are we going to identify these valves? Take note. If you look closely, you notice there is intersection point. Wait, let me change color. You notice there's intersection point over here? Yes?
Yes.
The two lines crosses each other. There's also an intersection point here where two lines crosses each other. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
There's also intersection here. And there's also intersection here. So how are we going to know which valve is which valve? We have two valves, right? We have the bicuspid and aortic. So remember, these two lines that cross each other is the line of atrium and also the line of ventricle. What is the valve that is in between these two again?
Bicuspid.
Correct. So in that case, this line, this two circle at the bottom is referring to the bicuspid valve. This one at the bottom is also the bicuspid valve. Okay, and let's change another color. For this one, this, why is it still this color? For this and this is an intersection between aorta and left ventricle. So if I can scroll this back up, yeah. If you look closely here, if you look closely here, this is the ventricle, right? Ventricle, all the way, ventricle, correct? Can you see this?
Yes.
And then aorta, where's the aorta? Aorta, I'll color it in red. This is the aorta. So in between the aorta and the left ventricle is your aortic wall. Got it?
Yes.
So in that case, let's go back to the graph just now. In that case, this two region here, this one and this one is referring to the
Aortic valve.
correct, very good. So we'll name it aortic valve. So we'll do this step by step. First, we identify what this line belongs to. Okay, like for example, the one at the bottom, the one in the red, that one refers to left atrium. The one in blue refers to the left ventricle. The one in green refers to the aorta. Then after that, the intersection between the red and the blue line is actually the valve found in between the left atrium and left ventricle. That will bring us to the identity of bicuspid valve for both. Okay. Then subsequently, the location, the intersection between the green line and the blue line is basically the aortic valve, because the aortic valve is found in between the aorta and the left ventricle. So voila, you have identified everything, correct? Then next, you need to be able to identify whether the valve on this side is opening or closing. If one side is open, the other side will close. If one side is closed, the other side will open. Okay?
Yeah.
So up to this point here, let me try and remove all the lines. Oops, I accidentally removed the valve. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Oops. So we will explore along this line. Along this line, the ventricle's pressure builds up. Why does the ventricle's pressure build up? Because the ventricle is contracting. Remember, when ventricle contract, the blood try to move back to the atrium, right? So what happened to the bicuspid valve?
Open. Sorry, close.
Yeah. The bicuspid valve should not open. If the bicuspid valve were to open, then the blood will enter the atrium. Okay, so the bicuspid valve must close. So in that case, bicuspid valve at this point open. Okay, if this part open, then the other part will close. Easy?
Yes.
And
Again, so pressure builds up in the where again?
the pressure builds up in the ventricle, right? Right?
Yes.
So here, we'll still continue with this argument. Oops, wrong color. Pressure builds up here. Then, since the blood cannot move to the atrium, so you have no choice but to enter the aorta. So when you enter the aorta, what happened to the aortic valve?
Open.
Open, yes. The aortic valve has to open, then only blood can flow out. So in that case, aortic valve will open at this side. Sorry, I think I write wrongly. This one open, this one close. This bicuspid valve should be closed. Oops, sorry. This one closed.
Then the other one should be open.
Okay, is it clear? So frequently asked question will be, they'll ask you, what happened at this point? Is it aortic valve open, aortic valve closed? What happened at this point? Is it bicuspid valve open, bicuspid valve closed? Sometimes they'll even ask you what valve is this. Okay, and then another frequently asked question would be, they'll ask you, can you tell me A, B, C, and D, which region is when all the valves are closed? So what do you think? Which region? You have
That one, the what to 0.8?
A, B, C, D. Yes, what's your answer?
C?
C. A.
Right.
See the valve opens here. You see, aortic valve open. That means it open, 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 open. Then it closed.
Oh,
Which region where all the valves are closed?
so it's A?
You see, A, the bicuspid valve was open, 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 open. Then only at this point it starts to close. Understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it cannot be here because the bicuspid valve is open.
So it's B?
It's B, correct.
Oh,
It cannot be D because the bicuspid valve is open over here. This A also cannot because the bicuspid valve is open. Cannot be C because the aortic valve is open over at this region. So this small time frame, all the valves are closed. Okay, it's a frequently asked question. Okay, Ken?
yes.
So do you understand better now?
Thank you.
Okay.